Props and Locks on Fox 10 is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more.
Hey everyone, welcome into Props and Locks, brought to you by FanDuel. I'm Sierra Santos. We are your weekly go-to show for sports betting, and we will get you set to make your picks for Thursday Night Football, plus all the Week 6 marquee matchups, including the undefeated Arizona Cardinals. And that's where we're going to start first, but we got to bring in our betting bestie, Ben Stevens, host of the Morning After on Sports Grid. He's also fondly and frequently referred to as Big Ten Ben. Ben, the 5-0 Cardinals are 3-point underdogs going into Cleveland, plus 148 on the money line. What's your play there?
Sierra, Arizona has been booked as an underdog twice so far this season. In those two games, the Cardinals are 2-0 against the number, covering by more than 24 points per game. The Cardinals as an underdog is very intriguing. Also, look at that total. Right now at 49 for the over-under. It opened at 53. It is dropped by 4 points. But here's where the edges are in this game. A situation to monitor, of course, in the Cleveland Brown backfield. Look at the two running backs. Both did not practice on Thursday, but if they do, maybe taking advantage of a bad Arizona rush defense so far, the fifth worst in the league. Nick Chubb's rushing yards prop, 85.5. Kareem Hunt, 46.5. Both guys have gone over those numbers frequently this season. And always Kyler Murray. The passing yards prop, 257.5, over 4 to 5 times this year. The only week he went under was last week, and he still had over 230 passing yards.
Plus, the Cardinals dealing with a little bit of a COVID situation, but moving right along. Sunday Night Football, the Seahawks visit the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Seattle will be without their quarterback, Russell Wilson, for the first time in a decade. This one projected to be a really low-scoring affair, over-under set at 42.5.
Sierra, a primetime game with an over-under total of 42.5. Well, it's because of the Geno Smith era, and neither of these teams are offensive powerhouses. Both of these teams, 4 of the 5 games this year, hitting to the under. I don't think we're going to see a ton of points on Sunday night.
Monday Night Football, Titans a 5.5-point underdog at home. The Bills, meanwhile, hot off a road win over the Chiefs. Buffalo, keep in mind, has 5 wins against the spread this season.
Sierra, Buffalo looks like the best team in the NFL to me. They look like an absolute wagon, and as we know, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. The top scoring offense in the league, the top scoring defense, even on the road, laying 5.5 points. If I was picking a side, I would look to the Buffalo Bills.
If you're sitting at home like, okay, cool, but where are my Thursday Night Football picks? Don't worry, we got you. Who you should be taking the over on rushing yards and receptions. Ben and I are back after a quick timeout.
Welcome back to Props and Locks, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Welcome back into Props and Locks. I'm Sierra Santos. Every week, we get you set for Thursday Night Football on Fox 10. In fact, we dedicated a whole segment just to breaking it all down for you. Time is precious, so is your money. And that's why we have our betting expert, Ben Stevens, to help us out. Tom Brady and the Bucs trounced the Dolphins in Week 5. They kick off Week 6 in Philly against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. How confident are you that Tampa will cover the spread?
I don't know about the spread so much in this game. It's fluctuated around that key number of 7. It's now down to 6.5 right prior to kick. The total up by a full point. The 2 games Philly has played this year, Sierra, with a total of 51 points or higher, have gone to the over. Tampa Bay has played 4 of their 5 games to the over. But let's focus on the props. That's where I feel the edge is the absolute best tonight. You could look at Jalen Hurts' rushing attempts prop of 8.5. He has gone over 3 of the 5 times this year for Philadelphia. I think he can go over that tonight against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also on the other side, Tampa only runs the ball, Sierra, 30% of the time so far this year. But Leonard Fournette, 62.5 for his rushing yards prop. Philly, the 3rd worst rushing defense in the NFL. And then Mike Evans has been targeted 45 times this year by Tom Brady. The leading amount of targets on Tampa Bay. I think he can go over his total receptions prop of 5.5 tonight on Thursday Night Football.
And if you want to play it safe, you could always take the Bucs money line at -310. But the show is called Props and Locks. And our final segment, Big Ten Ben, gives us the best locks for the weekend. It's my favorite part of the show. It's going to be yours too.
Welcome back to Props and Locks, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook.
We gave you the props. It's time for the locks. Let's bring back Ben for a little segment we like to call Big Ten Ben's Best Bets of the Week. First up, a battle of ACC Atlantic rivals. You like Syracuse to cover 13.5 over Clemson. I'm assuming it's because of that Tigers defense.
It is because of that Tigers defense. It's also more because of that Tigers offense that's only averaging 14 points per game. It's also because of the ties to my alma mater, Syracuse University. They are 5-1 against the spread so far this year, Sierra. That's one of 10 teams in all of college football. Georgia is also 5-1 against the spread. Meanwhile, Clemson doesn't have a single cover against the number versus FBS opponents this year. It is blatantly disrespectful that Syracuse is getting 13.5 at home tomorrow night. Shout out to my alma mater. You can see it right there.
Talking about disrespectful, Ben, you're hitting the ACC hard. You're not living up to the Big Ten nickname. I'm kind of disappointed, but I will let it slide. Anyway, you're feeling Pitt's lethal offense. You're taking the total team over.
Yeah, the only thing that could pull me away from the Big Ten, and I guess Big Ten Ben gives way to Big Ten best bet, bestie, whatever you call me on this show, is Pittsburgh's offense. The Panthers' offense is the third best scoring offense in all of the country this year, averaging more than 46 points per game. They are one of two teams in all of college football that have played all of their games to the over. You can estimate the team total around 30.5. Pitt goes over that in Blacksburg on Saturday afternoon.
I'm braiding you a friendship bracelet at summer camp, okay? And this one, as a former Sun Devil, it gave me a glimmer of hope for Saturday, but I think you're kind of wild for this one. ASU on the money line at Utah.
Well, this is the interesting thing about this game, Sierra. It's pretty much a pick 'em. You see the spread. The Sun Devils getting the hook really just means pick the winner of this game. Arizona State slightly favored on the money line. Utah just 1-4 against the spread so far this year, 0-2 as a home team against the number. And when you look at the Pac-12 odds right now on FanDuel, Arizona State plus 150, tied for the favorite odds to win the Pac-12 conference. Utah's plus 750. That's a $6 difference. You're telling me it's a pick 'em game? Fear the fork in Phoenix. That's what I love to do.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Whoever wins this game is going to be in firm control of the Pac-12 South. So, Ben, thank you as always for the insight and knowledge, even when I think you're getting a little crazy with these picks. This is our new time slot immediately before Thursday Night Football. We'll be back next week with Props and Locks on Thursday at 4:15. As always, check your FanDuel app for the latest lines. Until next week, take it easy.